It's time to rock and roll!
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Waffle Press Movie Hangouts. I'm your host, Diego Crespo. With me today is my co-host, Gina Versa.
Hey, how's it going? It's good to be back on another episode. As always, I'm your co-host.
Yeah, it's been
But yeah, yeah, today we're talking Frankenstein. Very
yeah,
excited.
Frankenstein, but also Guillermo Del Toro. Not
Mm-hmm.
we're not going to run down every film of his filmography, but yeah, with his
Yeah.
big Frankenstein focus, which I had not seen yet, because now it's going to start getting a better rollout in theaters after opening
Yep.
weekend. That's a really smart idea. I think that's a really great idea. No one has any mixed feelings about that. But hey,
Yeah.
that's cool, and it's good that it's getting expansions later. But with us to help talk about his career and his new movie is good friend of the show, Carlos Alonso Morales. Carlos, welcome back.
Hello. Hi. It's nice to be back. It's been a long time since I was on this show. But it's always nice to hang out with my buddies, Diego and Jean. And to
Yeah.
talk Frankenstein, which I have so to make
Mm-hmm.
up for Diego having not seen it, I've seen it
Mm.
twice.
Thank you. I
So
appreciate that.
Yeah. And you saw it last month too. So you were way ahead of everyone.
Yeah, so I saw it at TIFF because I'm based in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got to see it at TIFF and Guillermo was there to like talk about the movie after the screening.
Oh
And
wow.
I was like, this is great. Like I saw the movie, I'm like, this is great. I love it. I think everyone's gonna love it. And then it's doing its limited theater because like Netflix does like, oh, we're gonna put it in a little bit of theaters for
Mm-hmm.
like a week or so, or maybe more, depending on how we feel. And so I got to see it again yesterday because it was playing at the
Oh,
IMAX theater near me, and I'm like, well, I kind of wanted to see it again anyway, and um, and I also wanted to have it fresh in my mind for our talk today.
yeah.
And I was so like it was still so good, but then also like going there and they only had IMAX screenings. Like it wasn't like any other regular screenings.
Mm-hmm.
And the theater was sold out. Like it was sold out, right? And I just know that I think I posted about this on Twitter is that I just know that theater owners are losing their minds because they know that if they'd had like we can just do regular screenings on top of the premium format screenings,
Mm-hmm.
so many people would be coming out. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a crowd pleaser, and so
Mm-hmm.
they are leaving a lot of money on the table by not just doing a proper full release.
Yeah, that is true. Netflix has such a wonky theatrical sort of strategy. I've kind of seen it with Knives Out or the Knives Out sequel. What am I blanking on this?
It
uh,
was
Glass
Glass
Onion.
Onion,
Glass
yeah,
Onion.
because
Yep.
Glass Onion, when it did its like 1 week run, there was actually like an article about like theater owners that were basically begging Netflix to leave it in theater. They're like,
Mm,
it's selling really well. People are excited. They're asking us for more screenings, and we have to tell them no because you won't let us leave it.
yeah.
And I'm like, that's crazy. It's just
The
crazy.
the algorithm told them not to keep it in theaters.
I mean,
It's
look,
like,
let's be
We
forward.
need the
It's
Butlerian Jihad. We need to kill the algorithm.
it's not I wouldn't even say it's the algorithm. It's straight up just their MO. They don't want to release stuff in theaters, you know.
mm,
And I mean, like, look, you
Yeah.
can try to say that's a justifiable approach. I wouldn't agree with
mm,
that. But like I think putting it on the algorithm, which we should also destroy, is very much people making the decision to be like, we're
uh-huh.
not going to
But
do
yeah, no,
that.
it is very much the company's mindset. Like the human beings there also have that mindset of that theaters are something to have disdain for, and that you know our platform is king, and no one can tell us
Hmm.
different.
Yeah, it's just kind of an addition to the movie being released on Netflix. It's not really the intent in what they're doing. I guess it's
Yeah.
just to appease certain filmmakers, which
Appease certain filmmakers, technically qualify for awards, and then
yeah,
get out of there.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Well,
It's crazy because when I saw Frankenstein at TIFF,
mhm,
it got a standing ovation, like a full standing ovation, which is not guaranteed at TIFF. Like I've gone to
uh-huh.
TIFF for 10 years now, and you'll always get some pity claps, even if the movie's really bad. But for the whole theater, just and this is theater has several hundred people, like it's huge, right? They're like, yeah, like jumping and cheering and clapping, and it's like,
Yeah,
no, no, no. The people loved it, like loved it. Like this would go over so well if they had like
right. That's a shame. Really is a shame. Well, but hopefully, with some pushback, maybe you could see a different rollout.
I guess the
But
test
yeah,
is to see
it's
what
wishful thinking.
Netflix does with Greta Gerwig's Narnia
Oh,
movie because they kind of promised her a bigger release
mm,
than they've pretty much ever
yeah,
done. So are they actually going to stick to that, or are they going to like pull back a little bit? Who knows?
right.
But I suppose that will probably be the next big test of their release strategy in regards to theaters.
Yeah, yeah. I guess we'll see. We'll see. Wishful thinking.
Yeah,
But Carlos.
I think
Oh,
really
sorry.
quickly, I just want to say like I do think they will have to start releasing more stuff in theaters, not just because the filmmakers want it, but just it's just
Mhm.
how movies work. Like at the end of the day, it's just that we don't have to get more into that, but like it's the way to make money with movies. So like
Yeah.
they're gonna have to do it. But
And I think it's like well documented from multiple like people that follow box office and also follow just like how films are absorbed by culture that movies that are released in theaters and then blow up on streaming afterwards tend to have bigger shelf lives than
Hmm.
oh it blew up on streaming and for like its first weekend and then it just kind of disappeared into the buffet line. It's like
Yeah.
something that was released in theaters at least first. It's always going to have a bigger shelf life than something that you just dumped on a streaming service. Like even like one of the rare counterexamples would be K-pop
Mm.
Demon Hunters, which was dropped on stream, became huge. But now, not only did they do the sing-along screenings for just one weekend, and it was number one at the box office that weekend, but now Netflix is also talking about they're doing what they're going to do Halloween
I guess so.
screenings.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, so like you just know that the fact that they were like, okay, we're not just going to put this in theaters once, we're going to do it twice. It's like they know that there is a reason to do that. And you just know that Sony is like after the fact, they're like, why didn't you just release that movie? Why
Yeah.
did you just release that movie? Like you guys are silly. But apparently they're still attached to any sequels because apparently it's like the two of them are talking about what to do about
Mm.
a second one.
yeah, trilogy,
So I
baby.
guess they just didn't sell it outright. They didn't like sell the IP outright to Netflix. They're just like, here, you can put it out on your platform, I guess.
Right.
So I have to imagine that a sequel gets a bigger theatrical run than like these little specialty screenings because that's just way too much money to not
Yeah,
have.
it'll be
Yeah.
like a Spider-Verse thing where the first one's like, it does respectable, people like it. And then the second one's like everyone's gonna see that shit. Everyone's gonna go to that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a breakout sequel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean someone else who just pivoted to animation in a big way, and he has for a while is Guillermo, but he's setting up like a stop motion shop at Netflix
Yeah.
and stuff
I
like
read
that,
about that.
and like criticisms of Netflix and such like that are completely valid. I have them, many people do. Their animation stuff, it kind of been killing it for like a decade at this point. There's a bunch of great animated shows, movies on there. Um, and many people don't
Hmm.
hear about because it's harder to find stuff on streaming. It's not even about the quality and it's not even inherently about the decisions being made on top. It's just there's too much. How do you find it? You find out about stuff in theaters
Exactly.
and they do
It, it's
better
it's
on
the
streaming.
Hmm.
it's the buffet line mentality of the platforms where it's just like it's just one more thing in a sea of things. And
Hmm.
there's probably lots of stuff on the service that you as a um,
Consumer.
consumer would enjoy that it just never puts in front of you because the algorithm doesn't know to put it in front of you necessarily.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
we need better curation for these things.
Yeah. You really
But
do.
yeah, as annoyed as I am with many of Netflix's business practices, it seems quite clear that Guillermo is happy to be with them because they've been funding his past couple projects and they're willing to,
Hmm.
give him what he wants. Because again, Frankenstein, he's been trying to get that made for what, like 20, 25 years,
Yeah.
and it
Something
hasn't
like that.
happened. And then they said, you know what? Yeah, we'll pay for it. I'm like, you got it at a certain point. It's like if they're the only person in the room who are saying, yeah, we'll pay for it, it's like there's really not much else you can do.
Yeah.
So I have to give them slight props for giving him money to make this
Sure.
movie, even if I'm annoyed that I want it to be a bigger theatrical rollout event because it would do really well. I can't imagine any world where this does, like, again, imagine it was coming out in full release. It would have made the same amount of money as Shape of Water did in 2017. That was 200
Mm.
million back
Hmm.
then.
Hmm.
There's no way Frankenstein in full release doesn't clear 200 million. There's no way. Like
Yeah.
people love it too. Like it's too much of a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so it's
Before
unfortunate that that's not
before
going to happen.
we get to his newest release, Carlos, as our guest, can you tell us a little bit about your history with him as a filmmaker? Like, do you remember like the first one you saw? Do you remember the origins of your fandom and
The
appreciation?
origins of my most likely it's probably Blade 2 because I would have watched the Blade movies pretty young. Um, because I think I remember watching like Blade 2
Mm.
probably like I'm 10, 11 somewhere around there. So like I would have that's probably the first one of his I see, but I wouldn't have known
Mm.
about him as like a filmmaker,
Mm.
right? I just oh yeah, I like when the guy kills the vampires. That's sick.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Yeah. How hard is it to make a movie about that?
um, and then as
Very
yeah,
hard, apparently.
yeah, very, very, very difficult, apparently. Certain individuals seem to find that very difficult, and it takes
Hmm.
like 6 years and three different directors and 17 different screenwriters to try to figure out how to make a movie about a guy that kills vampires. But that's not the point of the show.
Yes.
Uh, but then, yeah, probably in my teenage years was when I became like a high school when I was more becoming like cognizant of filmmaking as a craft and specific filmmakers and their styles and things like that. And so Guillermo was one of those people that was one I knew about pretty early because my dad mentioned him as like one of the only notable, in terms of general audience understanding, like notable Mexican
Mhm.
filmmakers. And like I'm a Mexican background, my dad was from Mexico.
Mhm.
And so there was like sort of that affinity for him, even just on that level. But as for the movies of his, I mean, he's made so many great ones, but I would say my personal favorite era of Guillermo films is his mid 2010s run. I think Pacific Rim, Crimson Peak, and Shape of Water is kind of like, for me, that's like peak Guillermo era, where it's like he's doing these very sincere genre craft pieces and he's just knocking it out of the park. Like he's like, okay, he loves giant monsters and giant robots. He's gonna loves gothic romance with it, like some of the horror sprinkled in. He's gonna make one of the best gothic romances of that decade, easy. And then Shape of Water, like unreal. He wins Best Picture for the fish fucking movie. And I'm like, he's like, how do you beat that? How do you beat that? And I would say Frankenstein to me felt very akin to that era of his creative heights and like what I would consider. Although I do like his other movies too, like Hellboy. I think Hellboy 2 in particular is very, very good. And I mean Pan's Labyrinth obviously is that's kind of like the obvious one. Like that's my sister's favorite movie.
Hmm. It's a good
Pan's Labyrinth.
choice.
So yeah, he's fucking killing it, and he's still killing it. So good job, Guillermo.
Yeah. Love him.
My Maestro, good job. That was how we all felt like when the movie ended at Frankenstein. You could tell not just how much love there was for the film, like how much people were responding to it, but also because he came out
Mhm.
afterwards, and you could see how happy he was that people were responding so well to it. Like you could see it in his face. Like he was just like, "Oh my God, they like it, they love it." And he's like, he looked so happy, and him talking about it with, like kind of like doing like a Q&A with the audience was, you could see how long this he'd been waiting for this moment, and that he's like, "Oh, thank God, it worked out." So that was great.
Gene, what about
Yeah.
you?
Glad for him. Oh, oh yeah, my history with Guillermo del Toro. I think the first movie I saw was probably Hellboy, and I believe that that was when I was introduced to him because like around the release of Hellboy, there was a lot of promotional sort of material. So there would be like, yeah, I think like if you went to, I remember going to Best Buy and they had this like 10-minute sort of like behind the scenes documentary they were giving out on Hellboy, and I would watch it. And I believe I saw him being like interviewed in a lot of the material in that DVD. And that was kind of my introduction for him because I was really big into comics. And then the other thing was he was in a lot of features because it would be like Hellboy 2, Hellboy, Pan's Labyrinth, and then Hellboy 2. He was in a lot of interviews and features in a magazine I used to really love as a kid, which was called Wizard Magazine. So that was kind of my introduction to him because he would be talking in his interviews about like how much he loves comics, how much he loved like Hellboy, and I was like a casual fan of Hellboy, but the movie really captivated me and just really related to him because he was such a big comic book fan. You could kind of just like feel his passion on the page for the the material he was talking about, other sort of genre of like horror or like monsters that he was in love with. So that kind of got me really into his work. Yeah, just I think saw Hellboy 2. That was probably because I probably saw Hellboy just on like DVD or something. I didn't go to the theater a whole lot when I was like 10 or 12, but yeah, Hellboy 2 I took myself to go see and yeah, loved it. Pacific Rim. So just really kind of like he really sort of like snuck up on me and just like how much like I appreciated his work growing up. And then like Pacific Rim just really got me like hooked on his movies. So yeah, it's kind of sort of long story, but yeah, that was my intro to Del Toro.
Yeah, I'll be releasing a Hellboy Hellboy 2 retrospective. So that I'll get more into that there. So I don't want to spend too long on that because I wanna get you guys talking about Frankenstein. But I'll just say, yeah, the Blade Hellboy era is that's it for our generation for sure. Like that's what got everyone in. Um, and then Pan's Labyrinth is like, oh, who's this guy? Like this guy is the real deal. And yeah, it's many people's favorite movies these days. Like it's very common. We have all of us could probably pick like three immediate people in our friend groups being like, yeah, that's their favorite movie. That's their favorite movie. That's their favorite movie. And he just has that 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 power over people. And then yeah, Pacific Rim, 4 out of 7 days of the week. That's probably my favorite of his. It's so much fun. It's so exciting. It's so
Yeah.
inventive. It's so well written, even though people don't really give it credit for that, just because it's not realistic and people weren't doing that at the time. We were still coming off the post Dark Knight isms, you know. And that's nothing against Dark Knight or Nolan. It's just people wanted that because they're like,
Mhm.
oh, that's so realistic. And it's like, no, it's not. It's not there either. But it's cool, and it is more grounded. That's true. But yeah, now we're just like, oh yeah, like we see Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein trailer, and it's like, that is not how I pictured certain things. But that's okay because it's him, and we like him now. So it's like, let's just, yeah, flash that shit on the screen, like on a big screen if possible. Um, it's always cooler to watch stuff on a big screen. Even a crummy movie's better to watch on a big screen. And there's been plenty of those this year. Plenty of great stuff too, though. We're in a very good year for movies now, I think. Um, all right, so just touching base. Do we have like a specific one? Like Carlos, you were mentioning your favorite era is the Pacific Rim, Crimson Peak, Shape of Water. Um, which we got to watch on the big screen again recently, Crimson Peak and Shape of Water, as well as the black and white version of Nightmare Alley, which I really like and I think is very underappreciated. And I want to say Shape of Water, I was like, yeah, it's really great. One of the best picture winners, like best picture winners. I don't know if it's probably my top three Guillermo. And then rewatching it on the big screen, I was like, yeah, it probably just is. Like that three picture run is kind of unbeatable to me. That's a
Yeah.
really amazing movie. Everyone's crying in their seats by the end of it. But yeah, Carlos, if you had to pick like one for your desert island of Guillermo movies?
Uh, one. Okay. That's hard because I feel like on different days it might be any one of the
It's
three
so hard.
that
I'm sorry.
um but I'm it's okay. It's probably Pacific Rim, but I hate that I can't pick Crimson Peak because I think Crimson Peak's vibe and atmosphere is like perfect Carlos movie flavoring. Like the way that movie looks, the way that movie feels, the music, the costumes, like Jessica Chastain running around with blood all over her. It's like that is like peak Carlos feel for a movie. But Pacific Rim is just so much fun to watch. Like I wouldn't if I was like strand like a desert island, I can't go anywhere ever again. I'd be like, I like when the giant robot punches the giant monster. This is fun. It's just it's great. And I agree with what you're saying. It's underappreciated on a narrative level because I think a lot of people didn't quite vibe with that style of storytelling at that time because yeah, everyone was kind of drunk on yeah, Dark Knight. And again, I love Dark Knight. Like factually incredible movie, love it. But then a lot of the imitators were not quite there. And I think everybody trying to capture the Dark Knight's general vibe maybe was not the best idea. But I think Pacific Rim is a movie that has only kind of grown in time where people are like, no, 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 this is something, there's something sincere here. There's something that's just a lot of fun here. There's something that it's like you can do you know something about Pacific Rim I really love? It goes to show that you can have action scenes set at night that you can actually see. And it's so annoying the past like 10 years of movies where they have like all these this is also in television shows too, like where they have like all these scenes set at night and everything you can't see anything. I'm like, no, no, you could play with color, heavy VFX, nighttime action stuff. You just have to like do it, right? And I'm like, you could have had it all. And the monster design stuff in that movie is so good. Like all the kaiju having like their own individual designs and names and things like that is just yeah, it's probably Pacific Rim. God damn it. But it's so good. It's so good.
Gene.
Yeah, that's a good choice. I mean, I would just go with Pacific Rim as well, to be honest, because I mean, not to
Pacific Peak.
Yeah.
yeah, as peak, yeah, not to kind of like steal some of your points, but yeah, just kind of just the direction of it. Just I love all the monster designs. Um, the personality he puts in like all the Jaegers, all the monsters, all the fights feel like so personable. Yeah, it's at night, which is so interesting. And yeah, like the casting, like Idris Elba delivering the line as Sacker Pentecost of canceling the apocalypse with the material. He still does a really great job. But yeah, just like every little aspect of that film is just so like brilliant. Even like little things like the CPU for Gypsy Danger is the voice of Gladys from Portal. So like fun, like he put every so much thought into every little aspect of that film, just makes it more iconic. Yeah. So it's just Pacific Rim.
Yeah. And then we never really got a sequel to that one. We did, but it's definitely not.
Right, right.
It's not. I'll just keep it simple. But he was supposed to do that, and so basically
Yeah,
it
you
kind of
did get
counts
a
as like
good you did get a good cartoon.
I haven't seen the cartoon yet, but I'm bringing it up because he got
It's actually pretty good.
a
Yeah.
lot of unproduced film credits. He's written many screenplays. He's been up for many directing jobs that didn't work out, for better and worse. And I think his career is the career it needs to be for him to be like respected as an artist. Not that that should be his focus. That's for us to talk about, not him. But I do think now he's like a generational talent because the way his career has panned out. And like I mourn Pacific Rim 2. I mourn Hellboy 3. But look at all this other interesting stuff we have. But before we get into the other long gestating project that's finally here, Frankenstein. Anybody else have any favorites of like, because he released a list of movies that he almost did or was trying to get made, like a lot of them. Did any of them stand out to you guys? And you're like, oh, I want to see that one especially.
Yeah, I mean, there's the obvious answers like Hellboy 3, Justice League Dark, um, At the Mountains of Madness. Even though I guess you kind of see a little bit of At the Mountains of Madness, how that would have been in Frankenstein. I'm not sure if Carlos agrees.
Yeah, a little bit. I think that's the biggest one for me because the Lovecraftian uh influence in Guillermo's work. Like you can see it and it's in there and like I really would love to still see his Mountains of Madness. I don't know if that's something he intends on ever trying to like get back into production if he's like, wait, Netflix is doing well for me, they're paying for my stuff, maybe I can get this done. I don't know if that's something he intends on pursuing, but I would really like to see that. I just love him and his crazy monster stuff, so like I'm there. I'm there.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, there's like really deep cuts. Like I believe he was supposed to do like an Incredible Hulk show at some point. That was kind of canned. Well, it's like I spent some time on the Wikipedia page, but yeah, I mean, like things like Deadman, the DC comic book hero.
wasn't he also originally supposed to do Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince? Wasn't that something he was supposed to
Mm,
do at one point?
He was, I don't remember if it was that one, but you're right. He was reached out to do a Harry Potter movie,
yeah,
and he said it's his one like big franchise regret. He was like, ah, I
yeah,
should have done it because he's the guy who convinced Alfonso to do it for
Yes, to
Prisoner.
do Prisoner of Azkaban.
yeah. Or
Because they asked Alfonso, he's like, I don't know what that is. And Guillermo's like, you idiot! Call them back right now. Take that job.
yeah.
And now
There's
people
like
refer to that as the best one very often still, you know?
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah. There's so many, but I had a little list, but yeah, I mean they all would have been good, or just even stuff like The Hobbit. I think would have been a lot better with
I
him.
mourn that. I mourn that one
Yeah,
deeply.
Right, because he was supposed to do the two-movie version of Hobbit
yeah.
at
Mhm.
one point. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Whenever people like have spare time and you're curious about like what that movie would have looked like, there's a lot of like his writing on it, and he's talked about like how he like color designed the passage of time through the seasons of that story, and it's just like it's so inspiring just to, like even hear him talk about it and like the little design stuff that is out there. Some of the designs are in the movie, especially in the first two, like the
Mhm.
orc designs, like they're much more digital, obviously, but like those designs are very reminiscent of Del Toro's designs in his drawings. Like he came up with a lot of that stuff. Um, he had a very specific vision for Smaug, which has never been like fully revealed.
Mhm.
Although there's one like leaked image that's supposed to be what he was talking about, and I think it's actually similar to something in House of the Dragon, which I've not caught up on. I know
Mhm.
people are big fans of it. I liked what I saw. I just didn't see all of it. But there's an older dragon that one of the I think one of the Targaryens rides in the show or something like that.
Mhm.
And it's so old. It looks like an old lizard. It's just got saggy skin and scales, right? But it's like it's so big because they don't stop growing until they die. So it's like it's a very interesting image, and I'm like, oh, is that what he was talking about with Smaug? Because it looks like his design for Smaug, where it kind of looks like it has like an axe for a head because it's a drawing. And then I was like, oh, it's not like a hardened chin. It's saggy skin, So I don't know. That's just a whole side quest I've been on trying to learn
Mhm.
more about his Hobbit and seeing that image of a dragon in another TV show. So yeah, The Hobbit's probably the one for me. And Wind in the Willows was the one that surprised me the most, though. I was like, oh, he's a perfect for that. That one's kind of a bummer. That would have been a great movie.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then everyone remembers the Halo thing that he was going to produce, and then
Mhm.
that's fine. And, they should do a Halo movie in like 10 years or something. But
They
yeah.
should have done a Halo movie back in the 2000s.
Oh yeah, no, that could have been a
They
Star
almost
Wars.
did. They almost
Yeah.
did with
Back at the height of Halo mania.
yeah, they
Yeah.
almost did with Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we got District 9. District Nine's good.
Yeah, still
Yes,
love
it is.
District
Yeah, I
9.
like District 9.
Yeah, it's a good
Still
movie.
love that.
Yeah. Everybody gets one. Anyways, Frankenstein. Um, I didn't see it, but I want to hear you guys talk about it because a lot of people are talking about this movie. like we talked about in the beginning of the show. A lot of people talked about it. A lot of people liking it. It's making money, even though it's released in nowhere right now. No, it's released in some places, but
Few select theaters,
select
very few.
theaters. And I didn't have time to watch before the show.
Hmm.
I think I'll have time later in the week, so maybe I'll post thoughts on the account for that. Yeah. What did you guys think of the movie? Just go ballistic. I'll hop in when I need to, but this is on you guys now.
Yeah, I mean, it follows. I really enjoyed it. I don't really think there's going to be a lot of spoilers because, correct me if I'm wrong, Carlos. It really follows the book fairly faithfully, so you know what's going to happen. I mean, doesn't it's not completely one for one, but yeah, it was very like it felt very faithful to that original Mary Shelley book. The atmosphere was really great, and yeah, I loved it. I know you loved it, but yeah, it was amazing to see on screen too. It was incredible.
Yeah, I would say in regards to its connection to the novel, there are some changes in
Yep.
regards to certain supporting characters' roles in this. Like Elizabeth, who is Victor Frankenstein's wife in the novel, her last name's changed to Harlander, I believe,
Hmm.
and the novel was Lavenza. And in the film, they've changed it so now she's the fiance of Victor's brother,
Yeah, William.
William, who has like a slightly different role in this movie than he does in the book. So there's something of
Yeah,
pieces around, but the general flow and structure of the film is very close to like the spine of the original novel. Some characters have been added, removed, like side characters
yeah,
have been added, removed, or things
yeah.
like that. But overall, it's pretty close. And but aside from that, I think what makes this version really really work is the kind of like first like Victor Frankenstein played by Oscar Isaac. You see it from kind of like his perspective, his like rise and fall as a mad scientist trying to like, create this creature, trying to like salvage his career reputation and be like, if I can just do this thing. And then you also see the creature's perspective and how after he's created why he ends up the way that he does and like his journey of his growing intelligence and emotional maturity and things like that. And it's such a great double act, I'll say. um and I will say that I think I've posted about this on Twitter, but I knew going in that like, I
Yeah,
mean, like Oscar Isaac's
he
good and
is.
everything, so like I'm like, okay, I don't have to worry about him. But Jacob Elordi, who I really liked in fucking
Elvis.
incredible in this
Okay,
movie.
yeah, probably.
Like he's fucking incredible in this movie. I'm like, I can't believe it. Like, in complimentary. Just and like not just his performance, but just the way like the way he delivers lines, but just the way he moves, the physicality of it. Something that was meant because I think I haven't mentioned it on this show today, but I work for IGN and I write like articles and reviews for IGN. And I did not
Mhm.
review Frankenstein, but my editor Scott Collar did, and he mentioned in his review how like the way that he moves, it's like kind of like acknowledging the fact that he's made out of different body parts
Mhm.
that are not quite aligned
Yeah,
properly on the inside. And the fact that that detail is something that Elordi did with his body as he's moving around. It's so specific and small, but it really helps sell that I'm like, this guy is literally like stitched together pieces of meat.
yeah,
It's so well done. It's so well done. Um, and like it looks beautiful. I feel like everybody who's kind of just doing like the standard uh like point and shoot, basic coverage, make it dim so that it's easier to fit it together in post, like production model, should feel utterly ashamed watching this movie because the lighting, set design, use of color, everything. I'm like, this is how movies should look. What are
yeah.
we doing? What are we
Ideally,
doing?
ideally.
Right. Like you look at like your average piece of streaming Um, okay, you look at your average streaming movie. I'm gonna be more diplomatic than what I was originally gonna say. Uh, look at your average like movie that goes direct to streaming. And I'm not saying that they're not talented people that work on these movies. I'm not saying that, like they always make bad creative decisions. That's not what I'm saying. But like there is such a general malaise in look and feel for a lot of these movies now where they just kind of like go with the default and they don't have a distinct visual identity. And I think that's very unfortunate because you watch a movie like Frankenstein that does have a distinct visual identity, that has a clear directorial vision behind not just the look, but just every aspect of the production. And you're like, we can do this properly. We can do real movies. And a lot of people are choosing not to. But I think this is a standout feature for Guillermo. I think that, like I said, it feels very much kind of like the fourth member of that trilogy that I'm like that sort of like 2010s like thematic trilogy
Mhm.
that I mentioned, where it's like it connects to that era, I think, really, really well. And considering that it's one of those long gestating passion projects, and often you don't know how those are going to go for big directors, because sometimes they can
Yeah,
really work, and other times it's like that should have been kept
big,
in the
yeah,
drafts. Uh,
yeah. Megaopolis.
yeah, things like
So
that,
many. Frank
right?
Miller's Holy Terror.
Yeah. This one I think really worked out. I will admit that watching it the second time around, I did start to tear up a little at the very, very end. Just the way that he concludes it, no spoilers. The way
Mm,
that he like the final like few
yeah,
shots, I'm like it's
such
that
a
it's that it's that
beautiful
it's
ending.
that
If
gif
you,
of that guy that's like it's peak. It's peak.
it's
It's peak.
yeah. If you read the book, you know what we're talking about. It's a little different, but yeah, I don't want to spoil that ending. But what a beautiful ending. One of the best Del Toro directed
Yeah.
sequences, I would say.
And
Yeah,
Desplat's I don't know how to
score.
his score. I'm so mad that that score's not on YouTube yet, I don't think. I think it's just
Oh,
like
it's
one
not.
track, not like the whole
Oh,
score.
okay.
I'm like, I'm so mad. I need to listen to the
Yeah.
credits music
Well,
right now. Like,
maybe I'm gonna throw a I'm gonna throw a deep cut, but maybe it might be on Spotify.
maybe, maybe.
Spotify, which you're not a fan of.
Well, it's not that I'm not a fan of so much. I'm just like I don't use it, and I should
Yeah,
probably use it, and
yeah, I'm just teasing.
I,
But
I
I don't even know if it's on Spotify, so I could be wrong. But yeah, I want to listen to that score again.
yeah, it's great.
I did a quick
Yeah, but
cursory
yeah,
search
great
really, and it doesn't look
score,
like
just well acted.
it's really anywhere.
Every yeah, well, eventually, hopefully.
Out on Netflix properly on November 7th, so we'll get it soon. We'll get it soon. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, I think like we'll see it streaming soon. But yeah, Swarmster. But yeah, Goth does such a great job. Christoph Waltz as well. They just really add to the movie and just kind of like the tragedy that he's trying to tell with the film, which yeah, they just really add to like each other's performances and everything. Like Mia Goth was pretty great. I know you're a fan.
I was good. I'm glad that you mentioned her because there's a couple scenes between her and Elordi's
Hmm.
creature that are just really, really well
Yes.
done, really, really well acted, where she's kind of because Victor, I mean, like if you know anything about the Franken, if you've never read
In
the book or
general,
watched,
yeah.
he is that Victor is of course very kind of like domineering and very kind of like cold with the creature versus like Elizabeth, Mia Goth's character, is kind of the first person to show him any kindness, and so there's just a couple of really well acted scenes between the two of them. I will say one minor thing is that I do wish Elizabeth was in the movie a little bit more than she
Mm,
currently is.
yep.
Um, I think that the character's slightly underutilized in the film.
Yeah.
Um, that's not like it's not a
Right.
huge deal, but I would have liked a little bit more with
Yeah.
her.
Uh.
But otherwise, like again, McGoth does a
Yeah.
good job. She's got good chemistry with uh Elordi,
Oscar Isaac.
and yeah, and the both, and so then also the final scene between them, I think is just beautifully shot, beautifully done,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh,
It really is. It really is.
like I said, I can't really talk about the specifics of what the scene is though, but like
Right.
it's really good. It's
Yeah.
really good.
I was.
Basically, go watch the movie.
Yeah.
That's my
You'll.
take. Go watch the movie.
Everyone has Netflix, and hopefully they see it in 2 weeks. But I was gonna say, even though there wasn't enough of Elizabeth, there's actually yeah, Goth plays the Frankenstein, or excuse me, Victor's mom as well. I just looked that up last night, so she's in the movie a little bit more. I'm not sure if you noticed.
Okay, wait. I'm so confused because I've
Mm,
heard conflicting reports on this, that there was a different actress, but that it was also supposed to
yeah.
be her at one point. Am I
Uh,
crazy? Or I thought it was someone different that just looked, they cast someone
mm.
that looks quite like her.
Well, that
Or
I didn't notice, but or that I didn't hear of before this.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm so confused. Guillermo,
No, sorry.
Guillermo, we need
Someone.
you to come on to the podcast and tell us the truth.
Yeah,
Um,
he'll figure it
if
out.
he's if you're happening to watch happen to be watching this.
Right.
Um, yeah. Oh, and one last thing. Again, can't give too much context as to where this is, but there's a particular scene involving dynamite that has been burned in my brain since my first screening of the film.
Mm,
I've been thinking about it nonstop.
yeah.
I'm like, as someone that like like would like to make movies, I'm like, God, that's how you make an incredible
A
scene.
movie. Yeah.
That's how you make it. That's how you do it. I'm like, God damn it, how does he do it? He's a genius.
Just
Guillermo, teach me.
is. It just is. He keeps making them. Keeps
Yep.
making them
He can't keep getting away with this in a good way.
in a good way. Yeah. He should. He should.
He should keep getting away with this.
Yeah. Just amazing sequences. Just
Yeah.
love it so much.
All right, do you guys have any
Also,
final thoughts?
Any, I mean, yeah, it's just it was such a delight seeing it because for someone's passion project, one, the passion project got made. Two, that I guess the point that we were talking earlier, that like it was a passion project that was actually good, as well, because sometimes like some of those type of films just you could kind of see a reason why they weren't made, but yeah, I'm just glad it exists, and it's just such a like sprawling sort of like gothic masterpiece, I would say. Yeah, yeah, just very happy for Del Toro, who's certainly, yeah, one of my favorite filmmakers, and just good to see him do well. Yeah.
yeah. I was about to say, just because I think I've said pretty basically everything I wanted to say about the movie itself, but also shout out to my guy, Ralph Ineson, for having his one scene
One
appearance
scene.
in this movie, pretty
Yeah.
early on. But
Uh-huh.
it's always nice to see him. He played Galactus this year in Fantastic
That's
Four.
right. That's right. He was great as
Um,
Galactus.
yeah, no, he did a great job. I just really like him, like as like an actor who like shows up usually in like smaller roles, because he was like in First Omen, and of course
Green
he's in
Knight.
one of my personal favorite movies, The Witch.
That's right.
He played a bigger role in that. So just I'm always, and also he was in The Green Knight, which
Yep.
is I think the last movie I talked about on this
Yeah.
show.
The
So just
uncanniness.
I'm always just happy to see him whenever he shows up.
Yeah,
So
me
I just hope,
too. Me too. Yeah, yeah. I love that top topic, but I love the behind the scenes picture of him in the Galactus costume. The
yeah, where he's
practical
just chilling,
just
he's just
chilling,
sitting. He's
yeah.
like,
So good as Galactus. I like say like however about that movie, but I'm like finally did Galactus right. So
yeah.
glad. Yeah. But anyway, but yeah, no, it's yeah, Frankenstein. Yeah, just glad for Del Toro. Really glad.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I look forward to seeing all this stuff, but this one feels a
Yeah.
little special, and he's referred to it as sort of the end of a certain style of his filmmaking and storytelling. I'm very curious what that means. Did you guys get the sense of that when you're watching the
Hmm.
movie? Like, oh, this
Me
feels like
too.
him closing the book on something?
It felt like in the sense of how it ends and how that movie is like directed and shot, in terms of like his like kind of gothic or his period pieces. I'm like, man, how do you so in that sense, I'm like, he gave like the best effort in making that particular film. That if this is kind of the last sort of like gothic movie he does or period piece, I'm like, oh, it's a good way to go out, I would say.
Yeah, I don't know what he intends to do next aside from I think that stop motion stuff that he's doing with Netflix, but
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, I do wonder if maybe that was just sort of like his sense of finally having this done after trying to get it made for so long, kind of like that relief and just being like, okay, it's completed. And I think that
Yeah,
you could read, and again, in the way that the movie ends and the way the last few shots are done, I think that there is a certain sense you could subtextually read that sense of release and relief and just being like, okay, it's over. It's done.
yeah,
Into the last few shots. If he intends on just kind of striking out in a new direction creatively, I'm very curious to see what that looks like. And I will say, like, whatever it ends up being, I will be seated. So
yeah.
yeah.
No, well said. Well said.
All right. On that note, Carlos, thank you so much for joining us. It's great to talk to you,
Of
Hmm.
but
course.
yeah, we gotta have some more Discord chats and such too. But where can
Play,
people
yeah,
find you and your work?
yeah. Play Marvel Rivals with us.
I probably
Yeah.
won't.
Yeah, that's all
I'll
right.
talk to you guys
uh,
like
That's how we.
other ways.
Yeah, otherwise, yeah, that's how we hang out. Yeah.
yeah. Go, play Marvel Rivals. That's just like me to anyone listening to this. Play Marvel Rivals. It's a lot of fun. No, but so I mentioned earlier, I write regularly for IGN. I'm a contributing writer or whatever you want to call it. But my uh I'm still on Twitter, fortunately,
Unfortunately,
at
yeah.
Carlos Alonso M, which is the easiest way to find me. And I like post, like I said, I post my IGN pieces on there and like whatever random thoughts I have. So
Mhm.
that's probably the easiest way to find me. But yeah, no, I do um write pieces pretty regularly for them. I had a piece come out this weekend on Black Phone 2, which was also
Hmm.
dropping in theaters this weekend. And I'm always happy to just be writing for them, working for them because they're super chill, super kind, and
Hmm.
they let me kind of like do the pieces the way that I want to do them, which you might not expect from like such a gigantic platform. Um, but yeah, basically come read my pieces, go say hi to me on Twitter, and go see Frankenstein
Go,
and go
yeah.
play Marvel Rivals.
Go play Marvel. Yeah, I was gonna say you write some. You write some great articles.
Thank
I've
you.
always
No, you
enjoyed your
really
stuff. I
do.
try to read it whenever possible. I was gonna ask you really quick, who do you main in Marvel Rivals?
Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch
I like. There's a
and
bunch of different
Mantis.
characters I play.
Yeah, he plays man.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're Mantis too.
I have been playing a lot of Mantis lately. Um, may or may not be because she got her swimsuit costume. But no, she's a lot of fun to play. She's a lot of fun to play. I was looking for another healer to pick up anyway
Uh-huh.
because I've already like uh gotten Lord status on Rocket Raccoon, Jeff the
Yeah.
Shark,
Yep.
Ultron, and Invisible One. So I was
Yep.
like, I need to pick up another healer. So I was like, okay, Mantis is it. But I would say my number one character is still Scarlet Witch. And
Okay.
before you get in the chat and start being like, "Oh, Carlos, Scarlet Witch sucks. Scarlet Witch sucks," I have gotten to Celestial
Hmm.
every season so far, and I play a lot of Scarlet
Oh.
Witch. So don't give me that crap, okay? I know what I'm doing. I know she can be good. You just have to know how to use
Yeah,
her.
that's
Um,
true. But yeah, I guess yeah. Just for me, I made Rocket just so if anyone wants to know, I made Rocket Raccoon. But
I mean, he's great. It's like Rocket is like kind of like my carry healer, where I'm
uh-huh.
like, the team's sucking. I need to do all the work. It's time to play Rocket.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's.
that's true. Yeah, love my boy. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram G9892.
You can still find me on Twitter. I'm gonna try to be more active on Blue Sky. There seems to have been a mass exodus this last week with a bunch of the chiller film Twitter people. Um, and I popped in for a little bit, and you know what? I think we just need to bring the juice a little bit to make Blue
Yep,
Sky more
Yeah.
like. Sorry, it was fucking boring. People are fucking boring
yep.
over there. There are a bunch of hall monitors, and
It's
now
it's
there's more than
it's
hall
it's
monitors
missing.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
Yeah, it
kind
has
of
a good
why, because
crowd.
I was on Blue Sky for a bit and then I left because it was just not, it did not have the sauce.
Yeah.
So now I
Those
am considering going back. I'm pretty sure I'm also Carlos Alonso. I'm on Blue Sky, and
yeah,
I have
same.
an account. I've been on there, but I just haven't posted really.
Yeah,
So I might,
I
if
forget
people
who
are
I
saying that
follow.
it's starting to come back, then I might go back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's getting a lot better. Some of the features that you would see in Prime Twitter are coming to Blue Sky. It looks like, yeah,
yeah. I mean, they
they
got to get the
added
group
stuff,
chats
but
down. They
yeah,
got to
it's
do private
Yeah, I was like that.
yep.
accounts.
That was a huge thing too, is because my group chat on Twitter, we probably would have moved over if they had group chats on Blue Sky. But like that was the big problem was that like okay, we talk every day in the group chat. We're not going to leave the place that lets us do that.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And I'll say
Yeah.
this. Yeah, I'm still on Twitter, Instagram. The
good.
Diego Crespo on Twitter. Bless you, by the way. Uh,
Thank you.
Diego Crespo Grams on Instagram, Letterboxd, Diego Crespo. Twitter will still be around until I think when Twitter's officially dead, it's when my two favorite mutuals leave, Frank Serpico and Mia Khalifa. When they're gone, I think I'm gone. But until that
Yeah, he needs
happens,
to.
Then it's over. Then it's
then
Yeah,
it's
over.
Frank
over.
Frank needs to go to Blue Sky.
Frank, I think he'd have a great time there. I'll DM
Yeah,
him,
I
be like,
should
"Hey,
DM
hey
him.
Wait,
man."
Hey,
Diego. So if your
he'd
mutual's
be like,
Mia Khalifa and I know that she's like a big movie head. Are you gonna get her on the podcast?
Maybe I should reach out, but she just, I'm sure
mhm.
her DMs are
Get her
just
to talk
flooded
about
with like
movies. From what I
gooners.
understand, she's a big movie person, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's we connected because of photography. Because he took
Mm.
like a
Oh, okay.
genuinely really like great like nighttime low light shot, and I was like, oh, that's like really fucking hard to do. And then we just hit it off. But yeah, so maybe we'll do a photography centric episode, and we could talk about formats. Because I guess you saw Oppenheimer like 13 times in theaters.
Oh wow.
Like that's not fake shit. That's real shit, you know?
Yeah,
Like
that's crazy. 26 hours.
That's
Wow.
it's that this guy saw Captain Marvel in theaters 140 times, but
140
it's like for
times.
a good movie.
Yeah.
Uh,
yeah. Yeah, she has a fun interview on the Adam Friedland show that's like she went to like different states when it was unavailable to watch it in 70 millimeter, and it's like, all right, like I respect the royalty of that, you know, like that's a fucking mission. So yeah, there you go. Go follow Mia Khalifa, I guess. Yeah,
Yep.
everyone, thanks for listening.
oh, because you mentioned Letterboxd, I am also on Letterboxd. I somehow managed to snag the Doctor Doom username
Yeah.
on Letterboxd. I don't know how I got that. But that's me on Letterboxd, and it's like linked to my Twitter page. So
Yeah, links down to all Carlos's stuff below. Like,
yeah,
subscribe, check out
where I
other
post
episodes.
occasional review.
Yeah, check out uh Speedrun, the podcast Speedrun. Check out the retrospectives. And
Go
once
watch
again
the
this
drop episode of Speedrun. I was on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
yeah, go. Thanks for listening, everyone. Thanks for watching. We have been professionally unprofessional.
Bye.